Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for Film 1 Season 1, Episode 20, titled Nothing Personal, which I don't believe for a fucking second. Everything from the Hydra reveal has felt personal to me, like the writers are literally driving a knife into my heart. That's the wrong side. But yeah, Episode 20, Nothing Personal. Last time was The Only Light in the Darkness, and it was an unexpectedly emotional episode for me. I did not expect it. Well, I did not expect myself to actually react as emotionally as I did. But last episode we had Coulson kind of splitting the team up just a little bit. We had him taking Fitz and Trip to stop Marcus Daniels, which was a man who had some kind of hullabaloo with a physics lab or like an electrics lab or something, and then he managed to absorb some cosmic radiation known as dark force, and then that became his whole thing. But they were saving a woman called Audrey Nathan, played by Amy Louise Acker, from Marcus Daniels, and the reason she was so special is not only was she a cellist, but she was also Coulson's cellist. She was the love of his life. And the very first time they met, he was saving her from Marcus Daniels, and she, ever since then, she instilled a huge amount of faith in him and in S.H.I.E.L.D., which is why she told Simmons and Trip that she didn't believe what the news was saying about S.H.I.E.L.D., and she didn't believe that they're a terrorist organization because she's always trusted Phil, and S.H.I.E.L.D. has always been there to help her when she needed it. So she didn't believe what they were saying. But yeah, of course, Coulson being Coulson, he would go out of his way to not have to confront her, or at least to just kind of hide the fact that he's actually returned from the dead to her, because she was told that he died in action, but she wasn't told any of the details, so she didn't know where or how or why, or any of that stuff. I think she was still maybe aware of the Battle of New York, but she didn't know that Phil was connected to it in any way or any of that stuff. So she's yet to know that Phil is still alive, which I said it last time. I'll say it this time. In my entire run of watching this show, I had better see some kind of reunion scene between them. I'd better see it. Maybe something kind of Steggy style, maybe Steve and Peggy style, like in Endgame, Steve and Peggy still got their last dance, or maybe something along that style. But for Audrey and Phil, they deserve that much. So yeah, but that was a very emotional thing for me. And Amy Louise Acker, she's been, I think from what I've seen in the comments to that one, she's actually been in other Joss Whedon shows as well. So this one was a great kind of addition to her to be able to work with. I mean, I've heard the name Jed Whedon being thrown around. I'm assuming that's like Joss's brother or something. But I think Joss himself did kind of kickstart the idea for this show and was a driving force to this actually being made, and he did still have some semblance of control over it. Don't know about how it goes down later seasons, but I think Joss himself did have some shared creativity or whatever through this show, so it makes sense that he would be able to give Amy Louise Acker a role in this show, hit her up being like, hey, so we need someone to play Audrey Nathan. If you're up for it, then we'll give you an audition and all that sort of stuff. But regardless, she played a great role. Looking forward to seeing her in the future again, which we better. But we had all of that stuff going on. We had, I think we had some interesting kind of Easter eggs and stuff, when they were all doing not the evolution. I'm not thinking of evolution. The not exoneration. What am I thinking of? The initiation. No, the kind of initiation. But what was the actual word? I think I don't know. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm just going to stick with initiation for now. But when they were doing that sort of stuff, in the in the lie detecting chair, we had some interesting stuff Simmons is a Whovian. The box on an island thing. What's in it? It's the TARDIS is in the box. So yeah, she's a Whovian, which I love her even more for. May was married once. May was actually married once, so I assume that was pre-S.H.I.E.L.D. days. Trip is the grandson of a Howling Commando. That was pretty cool to find out, and just a bunch of other stuff. But I think it was just a nice scene to actually have these little little tidbits of info kind of come out in like an organic way. So that was really cool to see. And then once the team left, we had Ward staying behind. Ward was there to get information about the drive from Skye anyway, and then she revealed that it was actually geographically locked, so it could only be unlocked and stuff from an actual specific location. So by the end of the episode, he had killed Koenig, and Skye found out. Skye found Koenig's thingy badge in his ID, his lanyard thing detected in the storage room, and then she went into the storage room and found his dead body kind of hidden above like the ceiling grill thingy. So she discovered Ward's secret. She discovered that Ward is actually Hydra. But she is maintaining the act. She is maintaining the act that she doesn't know Ward is really Hydra, like as much as the fact that Ward is hiding that he's still S.H.I.E.L.D. Or that he's actually Hydra. So then by the end of the episode, he stole the bus and he took Skye away and said, let's go to wherever the drive is locked to, and then encrypt it from there and do all the good stuff for the sake of S.H.I.E.L.D. And when in reality he is taking her to unlock it so he can give all the details to Garrett. But whether or not he's actually going to take her back to Garrett after that, or if he's actually, because then Garrett did tell him 24 hours or you kill them all and you bring the girl to me. So I think if it's geographically locked, then that means it's not wherever Garrett is. So then he might have to unlock it at the location and then take the drive and Skye to Garrett afterwards. But either way, it's going to be a bumpy ride. I expect that much. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But Coulson and the team got back to Providence and they just found the bus and their team missing as a whole. So they have got a lovely surprise in store for them. But May left because she felt that with Coulson no longer trusting her, there wasn't really much left for her to do on the team. So she left. I think she went to Ontario, Canada, but she was picked up by her mother. We met Mrs. Agent Mrs. May. We met Agent Mrs. May. But she's people have pointed out that she's I think she's not with the CIA, but maybe like the Chinese equivalent of it. Because I think that's I think those are the comments I read. I think she's not like CIA strictly, but she's like the Chinese equivalent of the CIA. But I mean, what she said was that her agency hasn't fallen yet, so she's still part of some kind of stable government organization. But she meeting May's mother is something I never really thought I'd see, but it was cool to see it. I'm looking forward to seeing more of Agent Mrs. May. But yeah, she has contacts within S.H.I.E.L.D. though. She still has contacts within S.H.I.E.L.D. She gave May the details to contact Maria Hill. So Maria Hill, I mean, we know from the movies Maria Hill was still one of the good guys, but in the shows obviously they don't know who's left, who's actually trustworthy or anything, or who's left is actually good. But Maria Hill is still one of the good guys left. So I think in this episode may as well get a chance to clarify that and actually reforge that connection and use it to rebuild whatever's left of S.H.I.E.L.D. So yeah. But I mean, in terms of that, though, rebuilding what's left of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't know how well that's going to go, because I think even like a couple of episodes after this, like which, given in the sense of what the show's time span is, I think that would still be like only like a month or like a few weeks or something. So it's not very long after the rise of Hydra and the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D. So how well this stuff's all going to go is still up for questioning, and we're nearing the end of the season, which kind of brings up that even big question of like how are things gonna go now? Like what does this mean for the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Because Coulson insists they're agents of nothing, but how well is rebuilding S.H.I.E.L.D. gonna go? But I guess we'll find all of that out in very, very good time. But that is pretty much all I have from the last episode, so episode 20. Nothing personal. Let's go.
S.H.I.E.L.D. implodes and everyone wants
Is that her? Is that Maria? Maria! Hey, girl!
Unless you want to ask Fury for me.
Fury's dead.
No, we both know that's not true, Maria.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Pancakes.
Coulson's upset about pancakes now.
That's one way to cheer everyone up a bit, don't you
Who could be
think?
mad about pancakes?
I'll see if we have any.
Mad for pancakes, but not mad about pancakes. Pancakes are awesome.
We've had a wolf in the herd the whole time.
Oh, yeah, we have. Yep, she found Koenig. That is the best way to reveal that. That is, I'm sorry, that build-up was perfect. That build-up was perfect. A wolf in the herd. What is Hydra?
I just talked to Coulson a little while ago.
You did?
Yeah, sorry. Should have told you. They're
Yeah, you
okay,
should have.
but
Should have told us a lot of things, Ward.
Trip that drive.
Sooner we can
You're a son of a
rendezvous with the team.
bitch.
Exactly.
The killer was at least 6'2", and strong enough to
Yeah, it had to be Ward.
lift him into.
Had to be Ward. Couldn't have been Macy.
Ward did this.
Yeah, it had to be Ward. It matches. Water Fitz.
No.
Okay, okay. We need to hold it together. Listen. All that
Oh,
anger,
Fitz.
all that pain, you need to hold it in and focus it on Skye.
Yeah, on
She's
finding
alive.
her safe and sound, and then
She just
beating
walked
the
out of here
shit
hand in
out
hand
of
with someone
Ward.
she knows
That
is a
is what
murderer
we
because
need
she's
to
playing
do.
him.
Can you grab me a cable? I think there's one in the drawer. Thanks.
Literally the only cable in the drawer. That's very, very easy.
And she was the only one who could crack back into it.
So they have to keep her alive.
And she can stall for time.
Yeah, okay, we can make this
Play this in
work.
Los
They
Angeles.
came back for her, but we can make
Good
this
news.
work. We can make this work. Wait, what? No, it looks military. Oh, is it that Colonel dude?
Special forces.
That Colonel guy. Talbot, yeah, Colonel Talbot. Oh, it's him.
If I come out, will you shoot me? Because then I won't come out.
Hold your fire, soldiers.
How the hell did you find it?
Maria!
I told them.
Yeah, she knew. She knew. She's an all-knowing goddess, that one. Is that Phil Coulson's grave. What was in there? Oh, USB. Oh, a USB stick. USB drive. Oh, this is to Tahiti. Final report on Tahiti.
I vetted Ward.
He's
You wanna
good.
make this right?
He is good enough for
Stop
you to
wasting
vet
time.
him and still come out on the light side of things.
I'd like to tear this room apart.
Sure, Colonel. Knock yourself out.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Taking out Talbot and the army dudes. Okay, great. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Kicks, punches. Ugh. There we go. Come on, Coulson. You got this. Yeah. There we go. That's my girl. Boom. Isa. There we go.
Yeah, all right. Who am I pretending to be?
My impatient boyfriend.
I like that cover.
I don't.
Getting to know you, being your mentor, only to lie to your face, betray you.
Oh, yeah. She's pulling the strings.
It was difficult to accept.
Oh, I'm sure.
But thankfully,
I'm
that's
sure.
over.
Because you took care of him.
Because you killed him, right, Ward?
I tipped him off.
Oh, okay.
Hail Hydra.
You bit. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hey, no. Skye's good. Skye's good. Skye's good. Skye's good. Oh no. Oh god damn it. Skye, run. Skye, just run. Oh Jesus. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Just run, Skye. Run.
Surrender. Come on, what are you doing? Get me out of
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Yeah. You assault them. That's when they arrest you, not when you're actually. Oh crap. No. Skye, just run. Just run.
You don't understand. I'm not trying to hurt
You already have. You already have. You already have. Yeah, that's it. Just drive away, Skye. Just drive. Is that Deathlock? Is that Mike? Mike! No!
Lying bastard! Son of a bitch! You lying!
No, punch him. Chop his throat.
Okay?
Break his jaw. Yeah, keep fighting. Yeah, headbutts. Everything you can think of.
I'm not a Nazi.
Yes, you are.
You are. That is exactly what you are.
That's what
Shield
Hydra
Handbook,
is.
Chapter 1, the Red Skull, founder of Hydra, was a big fat freaking
Red
Nazi.
freaking Nazi.
You know, you always had that Hitler youth look to you, so it's really not that surprising.
Except blonde hair, blue eyes, but anyway.
I'm a spy. You think I had a part in that? I would let that happen to you?
If Garrett gave you the orders, yes!
I feel about you, Skye.
Oh, don't give me that. No. Don't give me that crap.
Do you think this has been easy for me?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Do you have
You
any
were
idea
made to become
how
a traitor.
hard it is? The sacrifices, the decisions I had to make, but I made them. Because that's what I do. I'm a survivor.
You're a shitbag.
You are a serial killer.
What she said.
Someday you'll understand.
No.
And someday
I
you'll
won't.
die.
I won't hurt you.
You're gonna hurt Ward?
What,
Okay then.
what did you do to him? He's a murderer.
Yes, he is.
Don't fall back on this guy.
Are you?
Skye. Oh, the Skye. Oh, fuck. Okay, it was actually real. It was actually real. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was going to be some kind of play, but it was actually real. They did stop his heart. I just defibrillated him a little bit. But you know what? I actually want to see Coulson and the team taking him. I don't want Ward to get off that easy. I want to see Coulson and the team taking him down together.
30 seconds.
You needed eye candy around, you could have at least picked Romanoff.
That's funny. I'll tell her you said that.
You lie,
Now
son of a
hand Skye
bitch.
over, I'll have a squad of... Just hope we bought enough time.
Oh, they were buying time for what? Oh, for Coulson to get back on board the bus. Oh, this is gonna go down, huh?
Deathlock's here? On the plane?
Yeah, you didn't take him out?
New plan. Run.
Wait, what about you?
No,
To the cargo hold.
you
now.
can't take Deathlock. I mean, I have faith in you, Phil, but
Still
you.
my plane.
Oh, god damn it, that's it. That's it, that's it. Oh, crap. Don't shoot Lola! Don't shoot Lola! Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, god, guys, buckle in, he said! He said buckle up! Yeah, he said buckle up! You're in a flying car, you gotta buckle up. There we go. There we go. Now they're flying. Now they're flying. That's how you park a flying car. That's how you park a flying car.
You try anything like that again, I will kill you.
Can
It
you?
wasn't personal.
Oh, okay.
I was just following orders.
How does it feel to have your own card thrown right back in your face, Ward?
Say hello to Stark for... Oh, yeah. Never mind. He thinks I'm dead.
Well, we can change that. We can fix that. We can fix that. At least let the Avengers know you're alive, dude.
There's some reason why Ward did it. Tell me that you're not Hydra.
Fitz.
What?
Never.
You'll never have to find out.
Fitzsimmons, stay strong with S.H.I.E.L.D.
We'll return in a moment.
Cheers, Phil.
Good morning, Director Fury. I regret to inform you that I'm handing in my resignation. The only course of action that showed any promise of stemming these side effects was memory replacement. Erasing completely the awareness of what they'd been through, I'm recommending the termination of Project Tahiti. Under no circumstances should these procedures or drugs be administered to anyone ever. The cost is far too great.
Oh, that
Thank you, sir.
that is some Uno reverse crap. That is some Uno reverse crap. That is. No, that is some straight up Uno reverse shit. What was that? Oh my god. That is some straight up Uno reverse card. That is some, like, I don't even know how Uno works, but if there's levels to it, that is some level 10 Uno reverse crap. That is some level 10 Uno reverse BS. Okay. Haven't written that piece down. I will write it down now, but I'm gonna start off with that point because that is, again, it's some Uno reverse stuff. So he was in charge of that. So. Okay, I did not see that twist coming. I did not see that one coming at all. I thought it would either be Pierce or it could be someone on the Security Council. I mean, I don't know why, but I mean, with all the stuff going on about Hydra, it felt like maybe someone higher up, maybe someone with the most appropriate level of authority would be the one in charge of this project. But oh jeez, okay. But no, Philip Coulson was in charge of the Tahiti project. He was not only in charge of it, but he was working on it with Fury. And the initial mission objective was to be able to revive and heal a mortally wounded Avenger, which he was. But he said initial tests showed that, you know, whilst the actual recovery and stuff is great, whilst the regenerative stuff and the healing works fine and the person is brought back to life, the actual mental side effects, which are like I think if anything they're the most prominent side effects, the mental ones are the most like damaging and the most kind of significantly kind of negative, pretty much. Like it results in psychosis and, you know, all sorts of other kind of like traumatic kind of stuff. So I think he said like the recommended course of action there was to, I mean, well, he said the best way to treat that kind of stuff was complete memory replacement and just kind of keeping the information away from them to kind of preserve their sanity. But he said his overall recommendation was that, you know, he was resigning. He was handing in his. I think he said he was handing in his resignation. But I think I'm assuming maybe he was handing in his resignation from the Tahiti project as a whole, not just from the Tahiti project specifically, not just as a SHIELD agent as a whole. He was still going to be SHIELD, but he just didn't. Knowing what this knowing what this was capable of, but also what the side effects were. He just didn't want anything to do with the Tahiti project going forward. So his recommendation was to terminate the Tahiti project, knowing how dangerous and uncontrollable it was. They knew what it could do because they tested it, but then after figuring out what could go wrong and all the things that could go wrong, he was like, no, let's just scrap it. And everything, I don't know what it kind of shocks me, but it makes me laugh. Like everything he mentioned is literally it comes from, you know, pre-Tahiti Phil's kind of knowledge of how Tahiti works. But it just amazes me how well Fury followed Coulson's advice to the T when conducting the Tahiti experiment on him. Like, you know, Coulson gave Fury everything he needed, all the information he needed. Like, you know, oh, this stuff works, but just make sure you do this stuff if you are going to use it on someone. And then Fury's just like, great, thank you, Coulson. I'm just going to use this on your future dead self, and, you know, try and bring you back to life and give you some, you know, nice pina coladas on a beach type like memories and stuff. Like the way he gave that advice, just not knowing, like the sweet irony of him giving Fury that advice without knowing that it would be applied to him. It's so kind of depressingly hilarious. And Coulson's kind of reaction, him just standing there, going like him seeing his own face in the screen, being like, and then at the end being like, so it was me. It's like, oh god, it's just so depressingly ironic and just hilarious. Like you'd expect it to be someone with Hydra being like, you know, oh, we need to try and corrupt this man mentally because he's a SHIELD agent, and we need to try and do something. But no, Coulson was the one in charge. I think, upon recovering alien remains and stuff from wherever they found it, because we still don't know what alien it is. It's not Chitauri, definitely, but it could be, I don't know what it could be. I mean, Kree is another thing that's in the MCU now, but I don't know if this was introduced back then, because the first time we saw the Kree was back technically speaking, it's in Guardians, but then we do know that the Kree were messed around with back in Captain Marvel as well. They did actually recover SHIELD did recover a Kree body back in Captain Marvel. So I don't know if it's one of them, or if this is like a new alien that again, like, because some stuff they reserve for the TV shows that the movies can't go into with all they have going on. So it could be another race they're introducing, but whatever it is, it's something that they actually recovered, and maybe I think maybe Coulson could have had the idea, these alien races that physically and biologically they are more advanced than us. They have properties to their body that humans can't even think of, or humans don't have yet. So if we try and apply this stuff to our technology, then we could really advance stuff. So I think maybe he pitched that to Fury. And then Fury was like, you know what, sounds like a good idea, put together some funding and, let's work on this thing together. And then it's when things actually started to get fleshed out, problems started arising. He's like, yeah, this isn't exactly as idealistic as we originally thought it was, or as we originally hoped. So I think it's best to cut this off. But then, of course, Coulson just had to go and die at the hands of Loki before the battle in New York, and then he's just like, it feels like we have an interesting test subject here for Project Tahiti. I mean, well, no, they did have test subjects before, which is how Coulson got the final results and stuff. But yeah, that twist, that was one hell of a reveal. That was one hell of a twist. I did not see that one coming, but there was a beautiful irony to it. There was a beautiful irony, like Coulson discovering he is the one that's been he's one of the people that's been keeping secrets from him the whole time. I think, you know, I'm gonna go back and listen to it just a little bit, because I don't know if he actually mentioned like keeping the truth away from from the subjects, but I'm just gonna go back and look. Yeah, so he did say the best course of action to treat those side effects effectively was complete memory kind of replacement, not just erasure but a replacement, and also just kind of, you know, just taking away any awareness of what had been done, because the awareness of what had been done was, you know, partly what actually brought along the various kind of like mental health conditions that was brought on by the recovery. So he said even those ones were inconsistent. So I think maybe it means that, you know, for the ones that had their memories replaced, maybe they eventually found out through some means, like maybe they came across something still, like they were being monitored, but maybe they still came across something that they shouldn't have, or they came across something to do with Tahiti, and then they eventually started putting two and two together, and they found out, and then stuff started going haywire again. So I think maybe after that he came up with the maybe someone else came up with the thing, like the idea to actually keep this information away from them. Don't just make them unaware of it, but make sure that they don't become aware of it later on. Like, make sure as many people as possible don't know about this. Keep it to the absolute kind of to the T, like appropriate figures and stuff. So yeah, but I honestly don't know what to think about that. Like, you know, like Coulson not only having a role, but it's just, you know, him being the one that actually studied all of this stuff, him being the one running this experiment, and him being the one who actually and I think even the even more people think that did like that USB drive, that hard drive, that information, that video, that everything to do with Tahiti was buried with Coulson. It was supposedly buried in what was supposed to be Coulson. Like the gravestone had Philip Coulson on it. It's what people would have thought his body was there, but then instead of his body, you know, Fury wanted to bury the secret, so he buried the secret behind his actual resurrection. Away. So yeah, damn. Okay. I see how they're going with this. I mean, not really, but still, I still somewhat see how they're going around with this. But yeah, so Coulson is part of the reason behind his own kind of hatred of secret keeping. Coulson gave Fury all of this information and recommended the termination of Tahiti, and then Fury was the one I think Fury was still at the end. Fury was still the one who gave the go-ahead to actually use Tahiti. I think maybe, you know, someone could have mentioned it to him, or he could have like remembered it that it was something that Coulson was working on. So he thought, you know, well, we have all of the kind of like methodology, like the methods and the procedures and stuff from Coulson's research, and we also like Coulson also told him what to do to prevent all of those side effects. So, you know, and I think maybe it could have been Coulson. It could have been Fury. Like, again, Fury likes to keep, like, Fury is a known secret keeper. He's a very, very private man, so he would have come up with the with the idea himself, as to, like, you know, okay, so Coulson says, you know, it's recommended not to make these people aware of what's been done to them, so we go the extra mile and we actually keep all the information away and just, you know, monitor them and just, you know, make sure they never find out, make sure nothing ever comes up and stuff. But with Coulson, it was his. I think that there's also a kind of like a nice little kind of like piece of writing there in the sense that, you know, Coulson would like pre-death Coulson was the one who was I think maybe he spotted. I mean, he did say that the results were inconsistent because Like, I mean, he said even those results were inconsistent. Even the ones who had the memory rewritten and were made completely unaware of what happened, even those results were inconsistent. I think maybe he saw. I think with him, it was inconsistent because he felt different. He felt too different after his resurrection to be able to let it slide. He couldn't just let it slide. He couldn't just live with the fact that he was brought back to life, or live with any of that and feel like, oh, he was dead for like a few hours or anything. He was dead for a long time. And he was resurrected from the dead. Like, you know, if you're brought back to life, it's very, very instinctual. Understanding mortality and its kind of effect on humanity makes you naturally question, like, how are you alive? How are you back from the dead and stuff like that? So with Coulson, it made him a naturally inquisitive man. He was curious to the point where he just kept on trying to find stuff. Like, he needed an explanation. That's what drove him kind of like to like mad in a sense, like in a much less severe way. That it was his natural kind of curiosity that led him to various different answers and trying to find out different things and trying to make sense of it all in a way that, you know, he could actually sit comfortably with. Then he eventually found out about like stuff being off the records and Tahiti and the blue alien in that tank down in Bethesda, in the guest house and everything. So yeah, he kind of, I think he couldn't follow his own. I mean, but I can't really say he couldn't follow his own advice because his advice. I mean, his advice was to just make them unaware. But then with him, he just has to be aware. He needs to know everything to be able to actually come to the right conclusion. He needs to know what's going on so that he can actually make sense of things. And you know, it's like how he makes sense of his world. If he knows what's going on, then he can actually make sense of stuff. And if he's not, then he's uncomfortable because he doesn't know what to expect. He doesn't know what's going on. That he's just like an average kind of human being in that sense. But yeah, that was a secret I did not think that was a twist. I did not think they would actually pull off. Like, Coulson was the one behind it, but it was very well done. It was very, very well done. So I'm curious to see how this is all going to move forward from here. But that was that. We had my girl Maria Hill back. We had Kobe Smulders back as Maria, so that was very, very fun to see. I think, you know, she's definitely someone we haven't seen very much of in the movies. I think, what movies has she been? I think she was in the Avengers. She was in Age of Ultron. She was in Infinity War, kind of like she got snapped away, but then she was brought back in presumably in Endgame. And she was in Far From Home too. She was in Far From Home as well. So she's been in there a bit, and she's been in there a couple now. But I think she definitely is a very fitting character for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Being, you know, given that she is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all. And Kobe Small as well. I think it's amazing to see her in a genre like this because like I definitely grew up with her as Robin Chabotsky on How I Met Your Mother, like a, you know, an unarguably completely different setting and genre to this kind of stuff. So seeing her grow up in growing up, seeing her in like a far more comedic role that's a lot more laid back and at times cheesy and stuff like that, like a lot less kind of PG for the most part. It was very, very different and kind of weird seeing her in the Avengers as well, joining like the superhero side of things. But Kobe Smulders has executed Maria Hill's role perfectly. You know, she definitely handles the action and the drama with like the utmost kind of sincerity, with how she approaches the role. So seeing her in this is a definite kind of like a very, very kind of like a warm, welcoming thing for the character. And just seeing her re-interact with Coulson and May again is really, really cool too. And she's a badass, so that's a plus. We always love seeing more badass women in these categories. But yeah, she is working for Stark. I think we did see at the end of Winter. She was in Winter Soldier too, of course. But we did see at the end of Winter Soldier when they were showing like how everyone's moving on, kind of. We did see that she was doing one of those kind of lie detectors for Stark Industries. I think she was during the what was it, the Human Resources, or I don't know, but she was, I think, even in Age of Ultron we did see that she was working for Stark in some regard. So she didn't really have much of a difficult time kind of finding work after S.H.I.E.L.D's fall. But I think in Age of Ultron she definitely did have. I think she definitely did have a hand in actually helping Fury pick out a helicarrier and bring back some good guys from S.H.I.E.L.D. to help out with Sokovia. So she's still getting by. She's still she's fighting the good fight, doing her job as she does and stuff. So yeah, seeing her in this was a definite welcome thing. So I do hope we see more of her moving forward. But that was very, very fun. We had. Yeah, I didn't think this would be coming. I was split because I know how far we are reaching towards the end of the season. So I was figuring the kind of the team finding out that Ward is Hydra would have to come sooner or later, and it wouldn't really fit well for the finale thing. It's something that we have to see them go through and actually come to terms with, and eventually take down Ward. But yeah, I think I was kind of split as to whether or not it would actually happen in this episode, or if it would be postponed for the penultimate one. But it did happen. And it was built up very, very well. I think, Simmons being in the store cupboard and getting some food, and then, finding the blood stains on the wall, and then Fitz seeing that one of the windows and the other ones didn't really match up with the times. One was night and one was day, so he found that there was a screwdriver, or there was something jamming it, stopping it from changing. But Skye left behind that message just as it changed from Ward is Hydra. So but I think the way that scene was executed, Tripp and Coulson talking about their next move and finding out what info that they don't know about Koenig leaving, May leaving, and Ward and Skye leaving, and Koenig not being there, and then Coulson's line maybe there's a wolf in the herd, and then we just see that the panel move up to reveal Ward is Hydra, and then Simmons' scream as she finds Koenig. Just so well done, so damn well done, so well done. And it is the gravity of the situation. There was a wolf in the herd. There really was a wolf in there, a wolf in sheep's clothing. So they handled that very, very well. But I think what definitely hurt without a doubt was seeing Fitz's reaction to it. They're examining Koenig's body, and Fitz. Everyone else is waiting to. Tripp and Coulson are waiting to hear Gemma's report on how Koenig died and who could have done it. Gemma is just trying to get her work done. She's just trying to find out how he died, what the possible causes are, and who the culprits are. Fitz is just pacing around trying to convince everyone that Ward couldn't possibly do this because he's their friend and he's a shield agent and all that sort of stuff. And then the more Simmons reveals, the more likely it becomes. Because, he died after May left, so it couldn't have been May. And the height and stuff of the attacker matches Ward's kind of thing. Even when she said 6 foot and all that sort of stuff, I literally just pictured Ward, because Ward is that tall, pretty much. And having the strength to lift him up and put him on there, Ward is a pretty bulky guy, so he has the strength to take on quite a few people. He took on the entire hallway full of Hydra agents or shield agents or whatever they were back in turn. So he's he can handle himself. But he can also lift up other people fairly well. So the more she talks, the more it becomes obvious that Ward was the one that killed him, and then it matches up with a message. It matches up with a message, and Fitz, my poor baby Fitz, he just can't take it. He lashes out. He throws pots and pans, and he kicks the table, and he just screams. He can't take this because he trusted him. He trusted Ward. That was that whole episode that they spent together, befriending and stuff, and just being pals and stuff. And by the end of it, they even give that kind of sympathetic nod to each other and stuff. They bonded. And at the end of all that, Fitz has to find out that the one of the people he considered a friend is actually a backstabbing, murderous traitor. God damn. But yeah, no, seeing Fitz direct that literally made me want to cry. It just kind of, it got my heart pounding for sure, but it's just seeing Fitz like that. I don't like seeing Fitz in pain. I don't like seeing Fitz in pain. He is a soft, sweet boy, and he must be protected. So seeing him just emotionally distraught like that, the thought of the realization that the Ward really is Hydra, and he killed Koenig, and he was playing them all along. It was hard to watch, but Fitz eventually regained his composure. I think Coulson gave him great advice, that pain, that anger, that rage, it's all natural to feel, it's all good, but right now you need to stay focused on the mission. Skye is with him, Skye is helping him, so we need to actually focus on helping her. So just focus on the mission at hand. But yeah, it was just. It's so hard to watch. Obviously, so hard to friggin' watch, and just seeing him that upset also just got to me. Seeing Fitz that upset just got to me. It's not really because in the past couple of episodes we were just seeing him kind of being jealous and stuff about Tripp's thing. But I think the way I see it, he is eventually he is gonna mature and he is gonna grow on Tripp a bit and actually come to accept him as just as much of a friend. But now that he knows Ward never really was his friend, and Ward was playing all of them. Including him, so now he just kind of feels betrayed in that sense. So, yeah, it's a tough thing. It's a tough gig, but I mean, it's not so much that I see Tripp as some kind of replacement for Ward, but I think he is literally just like the better version of Ward. Like he is kind of a shield agent through and through. He is the grandson of a Howling Commando, which kind of it reinforces that kind of those kind of shield roots and those kind of Boy Scout roots that he has, just knowing that he's fighting for the good guys. So he is definitely a surefire, headstrong addition to the team. So I think it's much less that he's a replacement for Ward, as much and more that he's an upgrade. More that he's definitely an upgrade. So I look forward to seeing him integrated into the team as the actual good shield agent he is. So yeah, that was tough to watch. We had, I think. What's interesting me, what's kind of interesting to me is the fact that this, like, with this season, I think, they've done what Steve's kind of journey was in the Winter Soldier. I feel like we've maybe seen a bit of that from Phil. Like with Steve, I think we saw him go through the journey of working for the good guys. Not being told everything about the mission, not like having some stuff hidden from him, and then just kind of and then granted in Winter Soldier he was given the information in the end by Fury because Fury is nice and because he shares and he's nice like that. But then in the end, I think he did come to I think Steve definitely went through the journey of realizing that the government is kind of instilling a new world order. I mean, it's not so much just that it's Hydra, but it's also the fact that with Hydra, Hydra has infiltrated the Shield and the government in such a way. Because I think that there still was a senator in the government who was a Hydra member, like that one guy that Sitwell was talking to in the movies. That he was on the government. He tried to buy Tony's suit from him, so and then in Winter Soldier, he was arrested and revealed to be a Hydra agent. So I think they they managed to kind of seep their way into the government as a whole so well that the methods and kind of security systems that they were instilling kind of showed, especially Steve. It showed him, especially the fact that it's not really like the way that he used to do things. It's not really as kind of again. I think his kind of line from the movie being this isn't freedom, it's fear. You're not actually protecting people. You're just holding a gun to their head and making sure that they're making sure that they mean that knows they better not do anything wrong and stuff like that. I think they managed to kind of convince people that this is the right way to actually maintain security. This is the right way to maintain freedom. People can live so long as the bad people die, but we're gonna decide who the bad people are. So yeah, but I think I think it's a similar. I think, and then in the end of the Winter Soldier, he realizes that the people he's been fighting for aren't really as black and white as he's actually pictured. The truth is, the world now is a very, very grey place. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of kind of evil all around, trying to mask itself as good, trying to convince themselves that they're fighting for the good side and stuff like that. And with Coulson, his journey throughout this season, I feel has been somewhat similar to that. He even said, I think gonna go back and listen to another line because I don't want to misquote it, so just give me a couple of seconds there. Oh, okay, so he was calling himself a good soldier in the sense that, because he's throwing shade at Maria for her and Fury having kept all these secrets from him, saying, if they had told him anything, he would have kept these secrets exactly that. He would have still kept them secret. He would have followed orders like a good soldier. But instead they were so focused on him that they should have been worried about someone else. Like they were so focused on like keeping him in the dark that they didn't realize they were in the dark to an entirely to a whole other evil. They were so focused on keeping Coulson away from the truth when they didn't realize the truth was right under their noses the whole time. Like Hydra was doing their stuff, but they were too busy worried about keeping Coulson away from what really happened to him after his death. So with this, I think it's just Coulson. I think over the episodes we've seen Coulson kind of discovering more and more discrepancies within the Shield. Even before Hydra, the fact that Shield was keeping secrets from him, the fact that Shield was keeping him in the dark about so much stuff, and kind of only telling him what he needed to know. And like, I mean, sure, there's the hierarchy thing, but even without that, it's like originally there. I think there was one episode where he tried to ask for information, but then he was told that the information had actually been moved up to a higher level or something, and then or like I think he had been demoted to another level. But like because I think he's like a level 7 agent, but then the information had been moved somewhere else, like out of his reach. So then that was like a deliberate move. Someone was purposefully trying to keep this away from him. So I think in that sense that they've both kind of undergone somewhat of a similar journey, like stuff being hidden from them trying to figure out the truth, and them kind of seeing that there's like a whole load of corruption where they can't even reach, and stuff standing in their way. So it's been in that sense it's been somewhat of a similar journey for both of them, and they're both good soldiers. And Coulson, he is the epitome of what SHIELD stands for, pretty much. He even in the wake of all this, even in the wake of SHIELD's fall, he still believes. I think that speech that he gave alone before reaching Providence, like we are not agents of nothing. The badge, SHIELD, like the name SHIELD, the kind of ideals, they still stand for something. He's still the man who stands for being the shield that protects the world, from protecting people from what they can't protect themselves from being that first and last line of defense, pretty much. He still holds all of those ideals in, and I think growing up, Cap was his hero. He looked up to Cap a lot, and he had those trading cards and stuff, which he never got Cap to sign. But growing up, he idolized Cap a lot, so you can tell he's drawn a lot of those qualities into himself, actually being a good man, and before being a good soldier, like actually feeling that desire to protect other people, and just being what they can't be for themselves, and all that stuff. So he is proof that SHIELD can still stand strong. SHIELD can rebuild itself. SHIELD can still be something in the wake of its enemies taking advantage of its fall, and stuff. So yeah, and I think even Maria saying at the end, like, this is no longer like a shield mission, because no one's giving you these orders. It's just your personal vendetta. You need to feel like comfortable that you're still a good SHIELD agent, and the SHIELD is still out and about. But truth is, there's barely anything left of SHIELD anymore. Like there are the few good guys here and there, but then that's it. For the most part, Hydra is in power. They're kind of doing their own thing, staying off the radar. But they are still like in power. They've made their coming out, and they've come out in power. They've kind of unveiled their ranks in the world. So it's kind of it's over for a lot of people. It's over for a lot of people. It's over for a lot of the world. And Hydra has so many, like, presumably so many other hidden ranks. But I think for the most part, their ranks have been revealed. Their people have been revealed. So it's just, like a matter of doing what they want when they want, and just kind of getting over and done with. But Coulson, he's not going to let them live. He's not going to let them stand. He will be the one to actually bring SHIELD back up to its ranks and to what it's supposed to be in his eyes, and like what it's actually supposed to stand for. So that was just a point that kind of struck out to me, like the fact that over the episodes, he's kind of like, his journey has reminded me of and now actually reaching here as well, his journey has reminded me a lot of Cap's in Winter Soldier. So and also a good point he made of say hi to Stark for me. Oh, that's right, he still thinks I'm dead. Like, yeah, he does, Phil. Like, just tell them you're alive. Like, again, you can't tell Audrey because you need to, build up some trust again with May and all that sort of stuff, and she's probably still healing. But the Avengers, they are heroes. They still work with you. I mean, they're a private organization now, but, I'm 99% sure they would still love to know that you're still alive. Like, Cap's an old man now, and he doesn't even know that you still live. Like, what is this, Marvel? Like, when can the Avengers know that Fury's that Coulson's alive? They need to know that. Like, him dying was the final push that pushed them towards being a team. Well, that and Fury manipulating them with his cards, but him dying was the final push they needed. So him being alive would, I doubt that, if they ever brought up the fact that he was alive, then they'd be like, oh, great, he's alive, so we don't need to fight anymore. Okay, great, let's just disband and go home. Like, no, they'd still fight, because they're still a team of heroes, a group of remarkable people fighting the battles that you never could. They would still do that, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with Marvel, why they're keeping this stuff away from its own characters, but apparently that's what they're doing. One thing, and another thing that kind of struck out to me was the location encryption thing on the drive being that diner. Because I was confused for a second, because I think I definitely recognize the diner. And she even said, she even said Ward even said why this place of all places, like why a random diner in LA? And I was like, a diner in LA? Have we been there before? Like, it sounds familiar. And then she does say it's where she first met Mike Peterson, and that's where her journey began. She saw the viral video of Mike Peterson, or I think she saw it, or I think she saw it or filmed it or something, but she had something to do with that stuff, and then she actually met up with him in the diner and told him about S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, government dudes in suits and actually protecting himself, and then she was taken in and interrogated by Ward and Coulson. So that's where her journey began. That's where her involvement with S.H.I.E.L.D. began. Even if she was a member of the Rising Tide at the time, but still. That's where all of her stuff began. So I think it's very fitting that the location of all that stuff, the encryption location, the decryption location of the drive would be in LA in that bar, so in the diner. So yeah, that was a cool thing. But I think even then, I think it said location denied or something. It said like access to the location denied. So I don't know what was going on there. But that was cool. And then I think she did mention the gift she kind of gave them after having decrypted the drive. I think I don't know if we're yet to see that, or if that was her tipping off the police about Ward being the fugitive and Ward being there. I don't know if that was all there was to it. But either way, she gave them a gift. So yeah, I think this is the trouble when you don't keep up with this every week. Last week was just a hectic week for me. I got almost nothing done. So this is the trouble when you don't keep up with your shows on a weekly basis. You start to kind of misunderstand some stuff. But yeah, this I think the no more S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, like the idea of there not really being anything left of S.H.I.E.L.D. to salvage or to use or anything is definitely a kind of, it's definitely kind of uncomfortable idea, and I thought that gives me great discomfort, because it's I think it's very it's two opposite ends of a spectrum, I'd say. Some people's kind of insistence that Maria's insistence that that there is nothing left of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she had a very similar approach to it to Cap. I think with Maria, it's the fact that she's moved on so quickly after S.H.I.E.L.D. fell. She very quickly came to terms with the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is gone and that there's no bringing it back, or at least there's not really much anyone can do to bring it back. So she moved on to finding work elsewhere, still finding somewhere that her services and her abilities can be effectively applied. But I think my mind flashes back to Cap's speech to Fury in Winter Soldier, when Fury's like, maybe we can salvage something, and then Cap's like, no, we're not salvaging anything. S.H.I.E.L.D. is dead. We're leaving it behind. For one thing, S.H.I.E.L.D. is too weak to fight back, and for another thing, as a result of being too weak, the cause of that is because Hydra has taken over too much of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's not a matter of there being a few sleeper agents sprinkled in there. No, in the very, very kind of top leagues of S.H.I.E.L.D., there are Hydra agents. They've taken over too much of S.H.I.E.L.D. They have too much power. We're not salvaging anything. We're taking down Hydra, taking down the helicarriers, and we're taking down S.H.I.E.L.D. So I think Winter Soldier is definitely the one that kind of cemented Cap's distrust in the government and the fact that it can so easily be corrupted and so easily be infiltrated. But with Coulson, it's a very, very different deal. It's the fact that he knows S.H.I.E.L.D. has fallen, but that's the parts of S.H.I.E.L.D. that's fallen are the parts that Hydra took over, the parts that Hydra managed to so easily kind of take over. And some people, I don't know if it's a case of like there maybe being some S.H.I.E.L.D. agents who also fell into Hydra's order because of out of fear or something. Like maybe they thought, if I don't fall into Hydra's deal, then I die. So then maybe they joined Hydra's thing that way, or what happens? I think that is something that was happening. Like maybe they did try and recruit some people out of fear, through fear. But I don't know. I think for the most part, it could just be like its origins. Hydra's kind of infiltration began way back in the 70s when Operation Paperclip stuff happened. Zola was recruited into S.H.I.E.L.D. He started all of his stuff from there. So from there, he was building up his league. So all throughout those decades and all those years, he was still working on actually building Hydra back up, and more and more people were being recruited. People were building up their ranks and stuff. So, in that sense, I think, the way he sees it, the way it's seen is that they've taken over too much, but there's still good left. Like Coulson and the team, and Coulson and his team are proof that there is still good left in S.H.I.E.L.D. and they just need their chance to actually fight back and gain some power, gain some control, get their own voice heard. Because right now, because of how easily and how hard S.H.I.E.L.D. fell, the world is calling them a terrorist organization because they didn't see Hydra coming. They were taken over so easily and stuff, and then all of their secrets were leaked onto the internet as well. So, it's just not really a good look for S.H.I.E.L.D., which is why I think it's what makes Coulson want to fight harder and even harder for S.H.I.E.L.D.'s resurrection, like showing the world that we're not all the bad guys. Some of us still believe in what S.H.I.E.L.D. was meant to be and what S.H.I.E.L.D. should be. So. It's definitely just like a journey of hardship for him, and he definitely isn't gonna fall under that pretense that there's no more S.H.I.E.L.D. Like there's no more of what S.H.I.E.L.D. was originally. Well, there's a lot less of what S.H.I.E.L.D. was originally. There's no more because Coulson himself is still fighting that fight. He's still fighting to get S.H.I.E.L.D. back up and running. But there's a lot less of it. But the S.H.I.E.L.D. that I think maybe the S.H.I.E.L.D. that Maria saw isn't really around anymore, which is why she's moved on and she's working with Stark now. So, yeah, but that's all I have from that. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I think Ward is a Nazi. That much is kind of obvious to me. I think that scene between him and Skye, like him kind of promising her that he would never hurt her, that was BS. Because I think he wouldn't hurt her now that he's gotten the chance to get to know her. Like I think my mind flashes back to that scene of to that line of Garrett's if I none of this would be happening if I just told you to shoot the girl on day one. He would have done it. And someone did also make a very good point that Ward, had he been given the orders to kill them between turn and between the pilot episode, he would have done it. If he was given the orders by Garrett to kill any one of them and to return to him, he would have just as easily done it. So him saying all that crap about Skye, I think even if he does, he's using it literally for manipulation. He's using it literally to manipulate her. He might protect her and stuff like that, from other people who would try and cause her harm. But at the same time, it's he still believes solely in following Garrett's orders. He still follows Garrett, and if Garrett had told him to kill her, he would have done it. But he would have done it. But now that he's when he's face to face with Skye, he will use those feelings to actually manipulate her as much as he wants. So I don't want to see any more of Ward and Skye. Don't want to see none of it. I don't like him one bit. I think at first it was at first I had trouble because going back and seeing how much of a good guy and how much of a team player he was. But now, knowing that, that was all part of his cover, Deep Tactics 101, Selfless Acts of Bravery, getting close to teams, and, just being the guy that Coulson needs around, all that stuff, it was part of his cover. Now that, that's out and clear and in the open, it's a lot easier to actually accept that he's just a dick. So, yeah, I don't support Ward anymore. He can die for, I think I figured very much that they wouldn't let him get off so easily as to just suffer like a failing heart from Deathlock's anti-defibrillator thingy. But I do think I would much rather see him go down at the hands of the team than that easily. Like seeing that, like, that's not even like a proper guilt. It's just literally kind of coaxing Skye into not wanting to be the reason he's dead. Like, if she didn't give him the answer, then he would die, and she doesn't want to be that. She doesn't want to be a murderer. She doesn't want to be the reason someone else dies, and they're using that against him and her as well. But yeah, if and when he does die, I want it to be at the hands of Coulson and the team. He betrayed them. Ward betrayed them. They deserve altogether. Or at least the physically capable ones anyway. They deserve. I mean, if anything, it would be a teamwork thing anyway. Like Fitzsimmons would shoot him with a bunch of ices, and then Ward and then Coulson and May would just do a couple of roundhouse kicks to him, and then Skye probably put a bullet instead or something. It would be a teamwork thing, but the team working together deserves to be able to take him down once and for all. So I look forward to the day that happens. But yeah, so Ward, I think Ward, I thought he definitely kind of. I mean, he doesn't. I mean, right, he doesn't fit the whole Hitler Youth thing, but I think he does still kind of follow. I think he kind of fits like the bare minimum of being a Nazi. I think he definitely follows in Hydra's wake, and he follows Garrett's orders. Garrett's orders are for Hydra. So Garrett himself said he didn't explicitly believe in their ideals, but he is still with them because they're the winning side, so he'll support their ideals, whatever they are. But Ward is as much as he's mainly following orders from Garrett, he is still kind of used to infiltrating places. He's used to playing cover. He's used to playing pretending to be someone else. So it was very easy for him to betray the team that way. But I think he is. I don't know. I mean, in the moment, I said yes, you are. He is a Nazi and stuff. I think he definitely has that kind of like element of evil to it. With the whole Nazi thing being like survival of the fittest and the strong, not the weak. The weakest members being picked off and just being tossed to the side. And the Nazis need to have strong members. Like that was the whole Hitler Youth thing. Like, you need to have blonde hair, blue eyes. You need to all the young boys being trained to become men and soldiers and fight off in the war. And the weakness must be eradicated. Like, Ward is a very, very well built guy who can stand lots of pain, and he can easily tolerate lots of interrogation and stuff. Like, he is the poster boy. He is their poster boy for strength and resilience and stuff. Like, he's the one who can withstand the pressures of S.H.I.E.L.D. to still come out the other end being a strong Hydra agent. So he is pretty much still following that Nazi ideal of being strong. And even him saying all the things I had to do, the decisions I had to make, him actually, using that as an excuse to be I've suffered so much, I've had to make so many choices and stuff. Just proves to him he had to be strong to, still serve under the Hydra regime. So, in that sense, I'd say he is a Nazi, pretty much. But he's Hydra, so, yeah, he's Hydra. He's Hydra, so he is a Nazi kind of by that definition. But, yeah, I don't know what else there is to say about this episode. This was a very enjoyable episode, a different and a nice return after missing out on last week's. But yeah, I think my it's pretty warm in here. It's pretty damn warm in here. So that alone is giving me kind of like a mind boggle. Is there anything else that happened? Is there anything else that needs mentioning? Okay, so Colonel Talbot made an appearance. Colonel Talbot returned, and he was led to the Providence base by Hill, and I think he pointed out that the leadership of S.H.I.E.L.D. had abandoned the team for privatization or something. Yeah, I don't know who would that. Would that be Fury? I think Fury kind of burned his whereabouts and just kind of went off on his own path. I think he wasn't really too connected to the Avengers. Yeah, their leadership left them for the private sector. So whoever was good that was in charge of them. I think not Fury, probably not Fury, or maybe Fury going dark is the private sector, and he said they'll allow that. But he said that the team's only options now are to give information and to serve time awarded, and to serve time maybe in like a less severe manner, or pretty much go through hell. So yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. being labelled as a terrorist organization is definitely taking a hard hit on the good on the still remaining good in S.H.I.E.L.D. I think they're them. I think more than anything, I think it's probably the world reacting to the fact that again, S.H.I.E.L.D. was infiltrated very easily, and a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. was taken over by Hydra. So it's like that's what makes people feel that S.H.I.E.L.D. is too corrupt to be good anymore, or that S.H.I.E.L.D. is even Hydra anymore. Because when Hydra came out of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's like so some people could have thought that some people could have ended up thinking or maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. was just a cover for Hydra. Maybe S.H.I.E.L.D. was Hydra all along. I think it's like all of those misconceptions and all of those fears and misunderstandings come from the sheer size of Hydra within S.H.I.E.L.D. And it's not just people kind of it was the people working in S.H.I.E.L.D. pretending to be S.H.I.E.L.D. while secretly serving Hydra. It's the people who were really Hydra but still held high S.H.I.E.L.D. ranking kind of IDs and stuff. So that is what gives the government itself like a lot of insecurity, and the people insecurity, such a such a highly operative organization could have been infiltrated by terrorists and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely hitting them bad. So Colonel Talbot is kind of the guy just who's there to do his job, and he's not really there for messing around. He's giving them these kinds of deals, and they take it, or they run the risk of pissing him off. But I mean, Coulson and Hill beat the crap out of him and his guys in the end, so he is undoubtedly pretty pissed off. Coulson pushed him over the sofa and then shot him with an ISA. So I think it's fair to say going forward we're going to see him being very annoyed with Coulson. But we'll see how that stuff goes. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. That's definitely what I can remember. If I did forget any details or misinterpret anything, feel free to correct me in the comments and let me know what I missed out on. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. It was a great episode. Looking forward to seeing what's left of this season. But yeah, that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Episode 20, titled Nothing Personal. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next in the season. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.